24 years ago, I was at Lotus. I was a technical illustrator actually at the time, graphic design, technical illustration, doing all the cutaway engines and ghosted cars and that sort of thing, which is what I loved doing, and that was my background. And I heard through the grapevine at the time that Gordon Murray was putting a team of guys together to build the ultimate driver's car, which was going to be a McLaren. So I had to be involved, wrote him a letter, and he got back to me a couple of weeks later and said, come along for an interview. And came for the interview, and I've been here ever since. The owner's manual was one of the things on my hit list, or the brief was to go out, see what the competitors were doing and do something significantly better. And that's where the McLaren owner's book started from. With this book, we were actively encouraged to make it more and more special. So it was kind of a unique opportunity. It was funny because we pretty much used every print process you could throw at a book. It was kind of a brief like no other book. I always liked the pencil work more than back then what was the ink work, which was the finished job. I always thought that the pencil work had more character in it and just more of a nicer quality to it. So we thought we would use that sort of combination and almost a Leonardo-like kind of feel to it, so you could flick out all the construction lines but then just wash in the details where you wanted to focus in on. So you could have a lot of information there, but you just zoom in on the area that was kind of done near perfectly. That was the logic behind it. We like to use different coloured anodizing on the car. It just kind of lifted the car, and it gave it a jewellery quality, which is really special. There's something really special about the F1. So it was nice in a general monochrome illustration to just have some nice yellow, blue for the header tank, and red for the brake fluid. So just little nice opportunities through the book just to put some detail in. Definitely lots of obsessive behaviour at McLaren. I think that's one of the key kind of characteristics of all of us here. And there were some nice touches, I think nice touches in the book where I like the idea. At the time, the car had done 231 miles an hour, a mere 231. It was before it did its maximum speed. And I thought it'd be nice to capture that in the book. So any of the clocks or displays, I would always put 231 in them. And yes, there was definitely a Bob Dylan reference. We did a CD auto changer thing, again, state of the art at the time. There was this Kenwood unit. And as soon as I saw that, I thought, with the CD, how to load it. I went and had a word with Gordon and said, here's a nice opportunity here. Is there a particular album, knowing it's going to be a Bob Dylan one, that you want? And he went through his catalogue and was flicking through and said, Street Legal, we've got to do that one. So, and it was just a nice touch to be able to put that in there into the book. Because the car was such a unique thing, and the central driving seat was going to be a challenge for people when they first looked at it. It still is. I personally have never liked to see figures in documentation, in manuals. So I thought crash dummies would be kind of cool. They'd be more appropriate for this sort of car. And my old college mate actually looked like a crash dummy. He was a cyclist, an obsessive cyclist. He was bald, he was really skinny, and with his lycra on, he kind of looked the part. So I just got him to come in his normal kit, and we took some snaps, and he climbed in and out a few times, and that actually made us think about what is the best way of getting in and out. I think the thing is with the book as well is that hardly anyone's ever seen it. It's only the few lucky owners of the cars who've ever seen these things, and I'm sure those owners would just go and put it on their bookshelf. It's not the sort of thing they'd have on board in their car. So I like to think of it as it's almost like an art book. It's like a nice coffee table book that you can look through, but it happens to be really informative for the owner as well. I knew it was going to be something special, but just like the car, we had no idea how legendary the whole program was going to be. And the book included it. It was turned into something I think really special and quite unique.